Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for the likes, the comments, and for subscribing. In this video I'll be updating you on Twist of Fate. It is hot, I must tell you. Guess what? Rhea's pregnancy is exposed. You need to watch till the end to find out how it happened. Do you remember the update I did concerning the pregnancy? The doctor refuses Rhea's bribe. Please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click on the notification button to be notified anytime I drop a new video. Please like this video, download this video, share this video, give it a thumbs up. Tell me what you feel about this video in the comment section. Let's go. Sid brings Mihika there. Prachi runs to her and asks her to sit. She asks if you are fine. Rhea tells Sid that he has told everything to everyone. Sid hugs him and cries. Rhea says we get some happiness easily and sometimes we have to pay the price for it. Dida asks Mihika if she is fine. Mihika says she is fine and safe at home. She cries. Pallavi asks how she is as she is so much hot. Rhea and Aliyah comes there. Mihika is about to tell them about Aliyah when Rhea says Buji will tell what she has done with you. She asks if Buji's men had beaten her. She pretends to apologize to her and says I have fought with her and she apologized to me. She says I asked her to apologize to everyone, especially you. She asks her to say Aliyah apologizes and says I don't have any explanation and says a person does wrong when something wrong have happened with her. She says she loves Rhea more than Aryan and couldn't see her rights going to Prachi. She says Prachi's baby is of Rhea, but he is my Rhea's husband. She says how I would bear Rhea's sultan, who was taking her place. Prachi says I wanted to get back my husband whom someone has snatched by cheat. She says she didn't want to take anyone's place. She says Rhea and you knew about my pregnancy well, manipulated my reports, threatened and blackmailed Sid, and called Rhea and my baby as illegitimate. She says you couldn't bear it. Aliyah says my Rhea was sidelined. Prachi says Rhea was never in Rhea's life. Pallavi says I think Aliyah did this out of desperation. Really? Wow. I'm in shock right now. What? Pallavi says, I think Aliyah did this out of desperation. As Rhea is pregnant with Rhea's child, so Aliyah wanted Rhea's baby to get the rights. Says, I can totally understand this. Really? Prachi says, this is not truth. Truth is that Rhea is not pregnant and she is fooling us. Rhea looks at Sid. Sid nods his head in approval. Rhea tells that Rhea's report will come in 15 minutes. Gang. He says he will go and bring the report. Vikram says, I will also come. Aliyah says, I will also come. I don't trust that if that report is not manipulated there. She says she is worried for Rhea. Shahana turns Aliyah and asks what is the guarantee that she will not compromise with the report. Dida and Pallavi tell that they will also go. Rhea recalls doctor's words. Rhea appreciates Aryan and says how to thank you. He hugs him. He then thanks Sid and says sorry. Sid says you are making me feel as outsider. Rhea says you are my brother and hugs him. He then tells Mihika that everyone is guilty of her and apologizes to her. Mihika says maybe this was destined to unite everyone. Vikram, Pallavi and Dida go out. Aliyah is also behind them. Rhea stops her and says don't try to buy that daughter. He knows that I am not pregnant. Aliyah asks what to do. I told you what not to do and asks her to go. Pallavi calls Aliyah. Aliyah goes. Rhea thinks if you help me in this, then I will worship you and will pray for you day and night. Prachi comes to the in-house temple to pray. Rhea holds Prachi's hand and asks God to fulfill Prachi's prayers. For now, he says she has troubled me a lot, but you don't trouble her and bless her. The episode starts with Prachi thanking Rambia and says, "This moment is precious. Thank you for coming in my life." She says, "I am glad that you are in my life and I am in your life." Rambia says, "I didn't hear what you said. You said thank you for bringing you in my life, and I heard thank you for accepting me." He says, "You said that you are glad that you are in my life, and I heard that you are my wife." Prachi says, "Sometimes I hate you." Rambia says, "I heard I love you." She hits him. He says, "I am feeling like you are kissing me." Prachi hugs him. Rhea gets angry and upset seeing them hugging. Rambia kisses on Prachi's forehead. He says, "Thank you for coming back in my life again," and says, "I got whatever I wanted." Prachi says, "I got the world and everything." They hug again. Rhea is upset. Pallavi says, "It seems all tension is searching our house address." Vikram says, "We can't do anything." Dida says, "Whatever is happening, we shall let it happen." Aliyah thinks what to do to make everything fine. Doctor comes out and gives the report. Dida asks Pallavi to open the report. Aliyah asks Pallavi not to open the report and says, "We know how Prachi is. She might tell that we have manipulated the reports." Doctor says, "Actually, Rhea." Aliyah stops him and says, "We shall go home." Dida takes the report from Pallavi and they started walking. Prachi says she wants to put ghee in the diya. Rambia tells Prachi that he wants to tell her something, which he told many times. He asks her to carry on. Rhea thinks that he tells her many times. Prachi turns and her gangat falls on his head. Prachi says, "I don't like as it is about me." He says, "You are thinking something else," and says, "We shall say at the same time." Rambia says, "You are very beautiful in the world." Prachi also says the same and says she is not beautiful. Rambia says she is beautiful. Prachi says beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Rambia praises her and says he wants her to be in front of his eyes. He asks her to put ghee in the diya and goes. Pallavi asks Vikram not to drive the car. She asks Aliyah to drive as Vikram is in stress. Diya worries for Rambir and Prachi. Pallavi says everything will be fine in their lives. Pooran comes and asks Aliyah to sign on the file. Aliyah sits in the car. Shahana asks Mihika if she wants something. Mihika says she's fine and happy to come home. Sid says, "I was worried if I can save Rambia, Prachi or Mihika," and says he's glad that they are all fine and everything is perfectly fine. He says if this thing haven't happened, then I wouldn't have forgiven myself. Aryan comes there and says Mom came. Sid and Shahana ask Mihika to rest. Rhea comes to Aliyah and says she called her. Aliyah says, "I couldn't pick the call." Pallavi says, "We haven't opened the report yet." She says, "If anyone wants to confess, then confess. I will try to understand that person's situation." And says later on, "I will not give a chance to prove her innocence. I will think that it was her planning," and says, "Come forward and say it." She says, "After that, I will do something which never happened with a woman." She says, "I am the lady of the house and has the responsibility to keep the family united." She says, "Come forward and say it now. It's now or never." She opens the envelope and the report falls down. She asks Rambia to read it. Rambia reads it. Prachi reads then and gets shocked. Rhea reads and says it is written that my baby is of Rambia. She says, "I am pregnant with Rambia's child," and asks Aliyah to see. Aliyah recalls getting the fake report from the Puan, pretending to sign. Rhea shouts, asking Prachi what you want to say. Prachi says, "I will say that you have done something surely." Buji Aliyah recalls stopping the call on the way and asks Vikram and Pallavi to push the car. She then asks Dida to get down from the car. When everyone gets down to push the car, Aliyah replaces the fake reports with original reports. Flashback ends. Aliyah reminds Pallavi of her words. Pallavi says, "I remember well." Aliyah says it is proof that Rhea is pregnant with Rambia's baby. She says Prachi has always taunted Rhea and asks how can a woman do this with another woman. Rhea says, my own sister tells anything about me. She says, I did many wrong things, but becoming a mother is not wrong. She says, I thought that it is a happy moment for me. She says, Rhea always supports Prachi. She asks him why he differentiates between Prachi and her baby. She says, you can't forget this baby. She says, I am pleading in front of my mother and asks her to give her justice. She says, don't punish a mother. I am pregnant with Rambia's child and asks her to give her rights. Pallavi gets emotional. Prachi says, enough, and says, how much will you lie? She says, I saw you having papaya and ordering deep tissue massage. She says you have manipulated the samples and reports many times. She asks, why don't you feel ashamed of your lies? And says you are not pregnant. Rhea says she's lying and swears on her baby that she's not lying. She says, if I am lying, then my baby will be born dead. Doctor comes there and says no baby will die with your lie, as there is no baby in your womb. You are not pregnant. Gang gang. The episode starts with Prachi thanking the doctor for coming to their house himself and revealing the truth to everyone. Pallavi stares angrily at Rhea and starts moving towards her when Rhea starts her melodrama. Rhea screams in frustration and says that the doctor reports and everything else is a lie that has been set up by Prachi. Blaming Prachi for trying to frame her, Rhea says that Prachi is the one who is not pregnant. Prachi gets triggered on hearing Rhea's statement and advances towards Rhea with anger in her eyes. Gang gang. Prachi pulls out the artificial belly that Rhea was wearing to show her inflated belly and fooling everyone. Rhea sweats in panic seeing her artificial belly in Prachi's hand and hides her face. Prachi shows everyone the belly and announces that Rhea has been deliberately lying to everyone about her pregnancy. Vikram says that it is enough now and Rhea and Aliyah cannot stay in that house with others anymore. Is this Aliyah and Rhea's exit from Rambia and Prachi's life? Will Pallavi understand that it is Prachi who is her worthy daughter-in-law? Thank you for watching. I must say you enjoyed this lovely episode. Please come back for more updates from your favorite Z Word series. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share. Thank you.